Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the daily scan for Monday, November 4th, 2013. Announcements on tap for today are factory orders at 10 a.m. Looks like they got some sort of repeat problem on that one. And then a bunch of treasury auctions going on. And we have one of the directors. Maybe a couple of them are going to speak this morning and one this afternoon. That's all fine and dandy, but really doesn't mean anything. Maybe this factory orders will. Let's see what they're looking for here. Prior, so they're looking for a slightly positive number, and the range is from 0 to 2%. So not sure exactly how that's going to play out or what effect it may have on the market. As long as Uncle Ben is printing money, we're probably going to be just fine. At least if you are bullish. And most people are, because most people just, they either they're holding stocks or they're holding mutual funds, and most mutual funds, a vast majority of them, are looking for bullish markets across the board. Let's take a look at, we got to come back here and take a look at what's going on around the world. Over in Asia, we have a kind of a mixed bag here. Nothing really exciting there. Probably going to be a pretty flat day today. Over in Europe, we're looking bullish across the board, but nothing really fantastic there either. No big moves apparently on the exchanges over in Europe. So here we're looking pretty much the same. Pretty flat. Nothing real exciting there. So look at gold here at 1313. It's still sinking. It's got a little rock tied around its neck. Oil's at 94.68. That's below 95 bucks. I like that. Although not really being reflected in the gas prices around here right now. So taking a look at our account here, I'm looking at this gold, and I'm going to have an expiration next week on it. This call is going to expire. Most likely it's going to expire out of the money. Just looking at the trend right here, definitely moving down. So what I think I'm going to do here is I'm not going to exactly be looking for any sort of roll for sure, because we're so far out of the money on that 134 call, which we have designated up here, that there's just it'd be really a dumb thing to do to roll right now, and I'm not going to roll down, and I'll tell you why. So rather than rolling this down, which if I was going to look into December, say if I wanted to take a couple bucks out of it, a 132, that would give me $1.40, and then I'd have to buy my 134 back, which is currently at 14 cents. Well, it probably wouldn't be too bad of a thing to roll down, but my intent, at least right now, my intent is to add to the position. So if gold comes down here around 125 or so, I may do another covered call. So buy another 100 shares and sell another call at 125. Well, I think I would rather do that with my money. Rather do that, yeah, and sell a call. And I have another account here too, so I just moved in here, this is a regular taxable account, so I thought I would try trading some simple options in that account so that I can get some experience on what happens with from a tax perspective, and maybe I can relay my experiences for that to you folks out there, and that may help you a little bit. Then I'll have something else to talk about. I always need something to talk about, don't I? And then the VIX trade here is not really going anywhere either, but we have plenty of time on that. We have a fourth week in November on that one. And then the other one, the simulated trade, is on Priceline. I had that calendar on the calendar on Priceline. And look what's happened here to this IV. Now that earnings is coming up, this IV has jumped from, I think the last time I remember looking at it was around 58. It's now up to 70. And that is just really pushing down, weighing heavy on my white line here, but at the same time bumping up the red line, which, used to be in the past when I didn't really understand calendars, I'd be drooling about this. Wow, look at this. It's even more valuable if it does this at expiration. But this red line is very dependent on IV. It's not like a credit or a debit spread where it's fixed. Your prices are fixed. These are variable. And like if you're net short options, in any case, what happens when IV increases is it takes longer for your trade to play out, because your short option that you sold for, let's say we sold it for $1, with IV increasing, even though time is marching on, it ends up being a net loss because your option is worth even more money. Okay, grandson just walked in the door, so I'm not sure where I left off on this. But, so that's where we are with that particular trade, and probably just going to simulate closing this trade. And if I was to analyze an opposite trade, so, no, how come I can't do analyze? Huh. I thought you used to be able to analyze closing it. Maybe that's just an actual trade that you can do that with. Let's see here. So I paid $2.20 for it, so if I analyze the opposite trade, that means that I could collect $3. So if I sold it now, it would be worth $3. So I'm just going to watch this and see what happens, and see if this plays out well or not. Probably just say let's close it today for $80 and chalk it up to experience. I think I would have got a little bit more for it last Friday. Alright, I want to move on to the A+ list here, just because there's really not much else to talk about. So we'll run through our scan right now. Apple alert did not go off. I'm not interested in Apple anymore, at least not for a bull put, that's for sure. So I removed that. Alright, let's take a look at Amazon. Still hanging in there. May come down to close this gap, we'll see. Baidu, kind of a mixed bag, still trying to figure out what it wants to do here. I think that's gonna, we're starting to see some momentum come out and price action. here is starting to turn down as well. CELG. Okay, we got a hook on CELG. Right, we are adding an alert. CF Industries. Alright, I'm going to put a target in here. We'll see if it works out or not. It's a nice flag here and then a pop, but the flag pole is only 2 wicks or 2 candles and then another flag. Oh, we have earnings coming up. Didn't see that down there. Thanks for noticing that. I'm just gonna take that off of there. Not touching that one. Let's just wait a while, see what happens. Chipotle. We got a hook on Chipotle. So I'm going to put an alert here about this level and see what happens. Alrighty. Google. Still waiting for something to happen there. Goldman. Waiting for that one. LinkedIn. Okay. Not sure exactly what to do about LinkedIn here. Not really sure. We need another wave here on the stochastic if we're going to go with a bear call. So we need some time for that one to play itself out. We got a hook on MasterCard. That's a pretty hook. That is a very nice hook. Okay, so what do we have here? We have confirmation over here, confirmation here. Not there. We need a white dot, but I would suspect if the stock moves up today, we'll probably get a white dot there. And we're on the ceiling here, and it doesn't seem to matter as long as on the weekly we should be pretty safe. I'm thinking we would be pretty safe, and that would be for this Friday's expiration. Okay. Netflix. We got a hook here, but we didn't do anything. I think that if we had an alert on it, probably didn't play itself out, but I still think that Netflix is looking pretty strong, but we're not getting too much confirmation. No confirmation here. I would like to wait a little bit on this one. Needs to prove itself to me if it's going to continue blowing everybody away or not. I already kind of looked at Priceline. We have earnings coming up, so no use spending any time with that. Tesla. Okay, so we're playing with the support line I drew in here. And we may be moving up, but I don't know. We have earnings coming up, so we're just going to wait on that. And Visa, and that's not the last word for today, but Visa, we need another day on this, but I'm going to put a target here. It's got some good confirmation coming through here on our indicators that we use. And then I wanted to talk a moment about SPX. Been looking for a trade on that. It's looking pretty good here, so we have a down arrow though. Not liking that. I need another day. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But I wanted to let you know that there is a new SPX symbol out there. It's called XSP, and it is a mini SPX index. So mini meaning that it just kind of knocks a tenth off, knocks 10 off. Well, you just divide it by 10. And instead of 1,775, it's $177.52, which doesn't make it attractive to me for replacing the SPX. But I wanted you just to note that it is a new listing, so there are nothing. I think this came out over the weekend, so there's nothing going on here, and you can see that the prices are 173 versus 1730, and it's okay. I think if you want to do like naked puts or covered calls on the S&P 500 index, and it is PM settled, so it's not AM settled. I think it's just a standard US style options on this. I didn't look it up and read about it or anything, but that's what I think it is. So take a look again here at the market before we say goodbye, and we're looking at a slight move up overall. I'm going to take a look at the Russell here right quick. Look at a chart. And yes, I might do a comparison on the Russell for tomorrow's video. Compare the Russell to the S&P 500 and see how that's looking. Remember, I did just mentioned it briefly last week that usually the micro caps, or the small caps, I should say, generally lead the market. So if we're getting a little bit of a pullback here, I want to see historically whether it really did lead it or not. So we'll take a look at that for tomorrow. Hopefully I remember. All right, so that's it for today. Everybody, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.